guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Wayne Gaming. It's me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you for Let's Play episode of Repeat, Owen's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. She tossed the knife into the kitchen sink and glared at the mess reproachfully. There was a bang as Samuel rushes back inside the kitchen, panting heavily. I'm back. Is everyone alright? His jaw dropped to the growing pool on the kitchen floor. What voice was I doing for some? Huh! What the hell happened here? You and Graham missed one. He broke through the kitchen window. Sorry. Should have been more careful. We took care of the four outside, though. It's fine. So long as everyone's safe. Let's hurry and clean up this mess. I don't want Owen to see any of this. From the corner in the kitchen hallway, I sucked in a breath of shaky air and tiptoed quietly back towards the safe room. It'll be a while before I stop shaking. My eyes shied open as I suddenly gasped for air. Echo floated above my head with a worried frown. You okay there, Adrian? You've been out for like 20 minutes. I think I'm okay. I just a bit shaken. Wasn't sure what I expected, but it certainly wasn't that. What did you see? I pulled myself off the floor and tried to shake off the incoming headache. I saw Owen's mother fighting with the Loreleis. Samuel and Owen's uncle was there too. It sounded like they did this pretty often. My slowed breathing finally returned to a normal, even pace. I rubbed my weary eyes in exhaustion. Can't blame Owen for being frustrated when things like this were happening to him every day. Anyway, I think I'm fine now. Let's keep searching. Books. Did I already do the bookshelves? Yes, I did. Yeah. Bottom bookshelf. Nearby, there were several psychological self-help guides scattered along the bottom shelf. One in particular, a study on empathy, contained well-worn pages as though it had been read and reread countless times. Did I do the middle shelf? I peered around the bookshelves curiously. Okay, yep. Yep, I already did that one. Okay. Exit bookshelf. Desk. The desk at the center of the room was covered in a thick layer of dust that had been undisturbed for years. Across the top of it were complicated-looking files and folders that couldn't be made heads or tails of. Kind of felt like an archaeologist trying to unearth fossils without disturbing anything. Find anything interesting yet? I don't think so. Most of these files are written in such thick legal jargon I can barely tell if it's actually English. I ducked under the desk and sighed. There's a kitchen knife taped under the desk, too. Owen's family sure likes to take their precautions seriously. I mean, they apparently dealt with criminals fairly often. I don't blame them for being careful. Do you think they actually used any of these in a fight? I don't really want to know. An idea flashed in my head. I carefully pulled the small knife out from its hiding place and set it on the desk. What are you doing? I wonder if my camera's memory snapshot will work on this. You're gonna try and dive into a memory? Right here? To pass out after you take photos. Oh, okay, yeah, here, sorry, he already did that one. Okay. Exit bookshelf, the drawers. Okay. Gingerly, I opened up one of the bigger drawers in the large desk sitting in the room. What is it? There's a little journal here. It's like it's bound by a lock, though. The journal was bound in handsome leather and aged paper. It had the look of something heavy with history. Hey, Echo, any chance you can unlock it for me? What am I, your personal lockpicker now? With a sigh, Echo snapped his fingers melodramatically. The lock on the journal opened up with a sharp click. Let's see what we have here. A lot of entries. Dear Diary. No, too juvenile. Hello. Too dull. Well, fuck you too. Apparently writing in a journal helps one mediate their thoughts. I'd schedule an appointment with my psychiatrist instead, but poor Dr. Hansen was found murdered in his office several days ago. It's like the Loreleis finally caught up with him. I still believe keeping a journal is a major security risk, but Samuel insisted I look after my mental well-being. Oh, speaking of, I have officially hired Samuel Clark and Graham Belladonna as my protectors today. The Adlai slaughter incident was only a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't hurt to stay on high alert. Samuel is famed for the skill of his craft and takes care of any danger swiftly. The way he almost worships me like a hero is rather tiring, but I am safe with Samuel protecting me. Graham, on the other hand, he still does not trust me. Probably never will. There was a large gap on the page under this entry, as if Heather stopped writing for a bit. P.S. I finally got rid of Samuel's horrible punk haircut this afternoon. Graham held him down while I trimmed away that god-awful mohawk. Success! I wish Samuel screamed a little less, though. The neighbors called the cops on us. Entry number 2. It still astounds and shocks me that I'll be a mother soon. Me. Someone with as much blood on their hands as I should never be near children, but here I am. It scares me to wonder what kind of person my child will grow up to be, but one thing is certain. I will raise and groom him to be free of the Lorelei and Adlai family's influences. He will grow up to be a kind and compassionate young man. Someone who will use his heritage for the greater good, and perhaps in the mess that is the two families. Someone his mother could never be. I've arranged our home on Derry Street so that my child would never encounter any information about the two families. I made it clear to dear Oleander that any attempts to contact my child would be met with retaliation. He'll be born into an unforgiving world, but the least I can do is ensure he enjoys an untainted childhood. My child is due within a month or two. We're still struggling to name him. I made it clear that Samuel II is out of the question. Samuel was heartbroken. I suggested an older name like Fleamont, but when I mentioned it, Graham choked on his morning coffee and flipped me off. I guess that's also a bust. There was a small sentence scribbled lightly on the bottom of the page. P.S. Oleander sent me a letter this afternoon and suggested Owen. Interesting. Babies are disgusting. Please stop crying. Graham sat me and Samuel down this afternoon to thoroughly demonstrate how to hold a baby. Owen is much cuter when he's not screaming at the top of his lungs. He also threw up on Graham a minute later. I've never been more proud. Someone had interrupted the entry by scribbling under it in aggressive red ink. Without me, this household would slide into the fucking ocean. Graham, if you steal my journal one more time, I will suffocate you while you sleep. This journal is a security risk I needed to assess. Surely you understand. Fuck off, Graham. Oh. Okay. Number 6. Owen began teething today. Apparently babies have exceptionally strong jaws. We rushed Sammy to the hospital this afternoon to stitch up his finger. Owen looked very smug the whole time. Graham joked that he inherited his mother's ferocity. Hearing this saddens me somewhat. I was hoping he'd take after his father. Today was Owen's 10th birthday. Samuel bought him a motorcycle, which was a terrible idea in itself, but that is not the worst part. He searched the entire city, pointed at the ugliest vehicle in existence, and said, I want that one. This thing taunts me. That hideous shade of orange with clown shoe yellow handles. It's proof that God has a sick sense of humor. I allowed Samuel and Owen to keep it, if only to hope that they crash it as soon as possible. P.S. It has been a week. Samuel and Owen crashed a motorcycle into our neighbor's house. I rejoiced. Nobody got hurt. Much. Samuel needed stitches again, and that thing was completely crushed. Imagine my horror when I found it standing in our driveway this morning, fully repaired and threatening me with its existence. Turns out Graham had fixed it. I liked it. It always managed to piss you off more than I ever could. This man is going to be the death of me. At least Owen seems happy about it. I'll keep track of which ones I read. 8. Owen snuck out of the house this morning. We didn't find him until tonight. He's quite the adventurous fellow. I'd be proud of it. I'd be proud of it if it didn't worry me so much. It's dangerous for him to wander out of the house with the Lorelei still targeting us. Still, it's good to see him go out and make friends in the world. Graham found Owen playing with a small homeless boy and a sickly little girl outside the hospital this afternoon. They've become fast friends. Owen's begging me to let him go back and play with them. I was tempted to say yes, but Owen's safety takes priority. He was very disappointed. There was a little more writing on the other side of this page. P.S. Later today, Owen stole my credit card and attempted to pay for his new friend's hospital bills and school supplies. I pretended to not notice. Alright, that one's down. The Lorelei's attacks on our household have become increasingly frequent lately. Samuel and Graham have become exhausted in their constant vigilance. We've had Owen retreat to the safe room practically every day to ensure his safety. The Lorelei's are growing bolder, breaking into the house in broad daylight, armed to the teeth. I managed to keep Owen in the dark about his heritage and situation, but he's growing frustrated with all the unanswered questions. I'm not sure how long we can keep this charade going. It just hit me that I've been living with Owen, Samuel, and Graham for almost 12 years. 12 years with just the four of us. Growing up in the Adlai family was strange. I never had people to just sit down with at a dinner table and vent the day's frustrations to. I never had anyone to attempt to cook for, or knit sweaters for, or terrorize the neighbors with. We fought together, laughed together, and it's been nice. Raising Owen with these two has been a privilege. Since the beginning, I did not once believe that this home would last forever, but when it is over, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss this family. Paper cranes. I glanced up at the paper cranes hanging around the room like a glittering cascade. As we searched the room, I had the sneaking suspicion they were almost watching our every move. Each one glowed lightly when I turned towards them. Hello? Can you hear me? Suddenly the room was alive with hundreds of tiny, whispering voices. Each paper crane spoke to the other in hushed voices, watching me intently. Suddenly, one of the cranes broke off from its string and gently fluttered down onto the palm of my hand. It looked fragile, like a stray wind could accidentally tear it beyond repair. They're trying to tell you something. They're saying that they're the formless wish of Owen Lorelei. Echo cocked his head to the side, as if listening intently to a silent speaker. They said that their name is Layla. I blinked at the tiny origami in my hands. Formless wish? It means they don't have an actual body like I do. They exist as a formless entity within all these paper cranes. The cranes in the room suddenly hissed angrily at Echo's appearance, their tiny bodies thrashing against their strings. Echo laughed awkwardly and took a few steps backwards. Oh boy, they don't like the fact that I'm here. They want me to leave. What? Why? I glanced up at the overhanging origami with a frown. Hey, guys, you can trust Echo here. He's a nice guy, I promise. No, it's fine. I don't blame them for being fidgety. To them, I smell kind of bad. Well, I think you smell fine, that you should stay. The paper cranes thrashing reluctantly died down as they turned their attention back to me. Echo's ears twitched as more whispering hazed the silence of the room. They're saying that they need your help. Layla says they want you to help grant Owen's wish. I want to help, but I'm not even sure what Owen wished for. The origami birds fluttered lightly in reply. Echo glanced up at them uneasily. A memory. They said they want to show you a memory. They want you to use your camera on them like you did earlier. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!